The weapon that's been used for the last 15 years, 20 years or so, last generation, is that all of those principles of traditional masculinity, the stoicism, the strength, the confidence, the power, are toxic, at least when they come from men. As we were just discussing out there, those things aren't toxic when a woman manifests them, but they're scary and intimidating when a man manifests them.
Wait a minute!
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
He ain't lying.
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So I got a video for you guys that I've wanted to react to for a few days now. I believe, damn man, I hope I'm not butchering his name because I've reacted to him before. I believe his channel is named Psych Hacks. What I'll do is I'll try to remember to leave the link to this particular video because it's actually off of TikTok, but I think he has a YouTube channel as well. I'll leave the link to this particular video in case y'all want to go check him out. But he talks about the hypocrisy of feminism. And as you saw, just in the first 20-30 seconds of that video, he pretty much hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to run it back from the top so that way we can see what he's talking about. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Let him cook.
The weapon that's been used for the last 15 years, 20 years or so, last generation, is that all of those principles of traditional masculinity, the stoicism, the strength, the confidence, the power, are toxic, at least when they come from men. As we were just discussing out there, those things aren't toxic when a woman manifests them, but they're scary and intimidating when a man manifests them. So the idea is to get rid of that so it's easier for women to compete. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to beat these really competent, powerful, high-status men. So we got to get rid of them. And we get rid of them slowly over generations. How do we do that? Well, there's the falling apart of the nuclear family. More people are being raised by single mothers. There's a variety of reasons for that. Like 90% of kindergarten teachers are female. A sizable majority of elementary school teachers are women. And their children, boys and girls, are being instructed in what masculinity is by women for the initial part of their conscious lives. Now, there might not be anything inherently wrong with that, but if you ask a woman whether she believes that the traditional definition of femininity, which historically was created by men and imposed upon women, was absolutely in women's best interests, I don't think that they would agree with that. So I don't think that we can say that when women create definitions for manhood and masculinity, that it's absolutely in the boys' or the men's best interests. Like there might be some kind of gendered bias in the expression of the opposite archetype.
And he is 100% correct. This is the reason why when you see men asking women what they want out of a man, it usually falls under traditional roles. The first thing that come out of their mouth is the P words, protect and provide. But whenever you turn the tables and ask what those kind of men should expect from women, they get triggered, or it falls under certain things that are not usually traditional gender roles, at least for the women anyway. And then add the fact that single motherhood is at an all-time high, like he said. Seeing a male teacher in a school is rare nowadays, which is kind of funny to me because I always hear women being so concerned about male teachers messing with little girls, but we've heard more and more stories about women messing with little boys, and women get real quiet about it. But I think part of the reason why you're hearing so much of those stories now is because there's so many more women teachers in schools than there are men nowadays. And like I tell you guys on this channel all the time, women are definitely far more biased than men, and they tend to think for themselves and not the group more so than men. This is one of the reasons why men give women so much pushback on being leaders, because in order to be a leader, for one, you got to be able to take accountability for your mistakes, which women don't like to do. And two, you have to be willing to put the group first and not just yourself. Those are two things I would make a case that majority, if not most, women are incapable of doing, which is one of the reasons why they expect men to do it in the first place. So when you have mostly women teaching and raising men, this is the society that you're going to get. More feminized men and women, and more masculine women, because it's the women that are telling men and preaching to men how they still need to hold those traditions, how they still need to be held to a traditional standard, while at the same time, those very same women are teaching and telling women not to hold themselves to that same traditional standard. And this is what you get, because those women still expect traditional treatment from those men, even though they don't feel required to reciprocate that, which is why we're at where we're at now. So let's keep it moving.
First wave feminism sought to give women men's rights without men's responsibilities. Second wave feminism sought to reduce or eliminate women's responsibilities. And third wave feminism seeks to increase men's responsibilities. We find that men can't win for losing. They still bear the majority of the burdens they did 100 years ago. To one degree or another, they are still expected to pay on the first date and onward, still expected to pay most or all of the household bills, still expected to be at least as educated as their female partner, still expected to be the one to buy the ring and to buy the flowers and then to buy the chocolates on Valentine's Day, still expected to put themselves between a woman and any danger, still expected to take responsibility for themselves and others, especially women and children. The primary difference is they aren't allowed to expect any thanks, gratitude, respect, status, or reward for it. In one, girls and women are their equals, every bit as tough, capable, resilient, self-reliant, and powerful. And in the other, girls and women are so vulnerable and fragile that they need to be treated with special gentleness and consideration, extra protection and respect. And they are so incapable that they need boys and men to rescue them from anything that might endanger or upset them. Men owe it to us for how horrible men were in the past. I'm just here to ask, what the hell are we doing to our boys and to our men?
Now, I've come across her content before. I forgot that woman's name, man. But if y'all recognize her and remember who that is, please drop it in the comments for everybody else watching. Because she was talking about this shit like 10, 15 years ago, y'all. Dead ass, bro. Because I was literally just watching a video from Legion of Men of him reacting to one of her videos. And she was pretty much saying the same thing and relaying it to why this is one of the main reasons why men are checking out and don't want to get married anymore, because the juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore. Based off of everything that she said, how can you sit over here as women and say, you know what, we no longer want to be held to that traditional role, but we're going to keep men in that traditional box. And not only that, we're going to offer less and require more of them at the same time. This is why I keep telling you guys, pay attention to how these women speak, because deep down, these women know it's a bad deal. That's why they have to come online and try to shame you and guilt you into this shit. If anybody has to shame you or guilt you into doing anything, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be in your favor, and it's going to be in their favor for the most part. That's why they have to apply it to you in that manner in the first place, bro. I'm telling you, bro. And men are waking up and catching on to it. That's why women are getting so frustrated and triggered, because men aren't taking bad deals anymore. And a big part of that, you could thank a man you can thank for a lot in that manner is Kevin Samuels. Let's keep it moving.
No different than feminism. Feminism is supposed to intersect, but often it turns into misandry. Do y'all know what misandry is? It's the opposite of misogyny. So the thing is, there are guys, listen, Kevin Samuels made a lot of sense. Say what you want about him. there was probably some entertainment value to it, but most of what he was talking about in terms of the game was very accurate, because what he was saying is this: okay, men who are making a certain amount of money, if they're going to be leading with something temperamental, then they're going to get a woman that's superficial. Why would they get an average you? That's what he's saying, and that's no different than a broke man who 5'2", he's going to have a certain pool of women, and that's just what it is. He gonna have a certain pool. You 5'2", you are broke, you not working, you gonna have a certain pool. Now,
And I wanted to give that last brother, a shout out because I believe he watches the channel. I reacted to one of his videos maybe weeks ago or maybe about a month ago, and he popped up in the comments. I'm like, it's the amount of people that I react to and they end up popping up in the comments. I'd be like, damn, like I had no idea these people was watching me. So shout out to you, brother. I'll try to remember to leave the link to that clip in the particular video as well, so y'all can support him. Let's keep it moving because this next video, yeah, y'all gonna get a kick out of this one. Check this out.
This is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. You know, that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And therein lies a big part of the problem.
Oh, the primary problem is indeed feminism. It's not secondary or tertiary to men wanting to live in basements and order DoorDash. Because it's feminism that has the majority of women in America subscribing to the belief per Pew Research that marriage and family aren't required to live a happy, satiating, and fulfilling life. And honestly, if I weren't as knowledgeable or experienced, competent, and adept as I am in understanding the female psyche and female behavior, I wasn't as desirable as my girlfriend loves to pretend that I am, I would absolutely endorse the idea of men staying in their mother's basements and ordering DoorDash, as opposed to encouraging men to attempt to develop and maintain healthy long-term relationships with these bitchy and nagging feminists who get online and complain about men's mishaps and flaws all day. Because it's honestly much more comforting and productive for a man to be in his mother's basement ordering DoorDash. Doesn't have to worry about being bothered or nagged by the opposite gender who's delusionally perfect, takes no accountability for their mishaps, and places a higher burden of performance on men than on themselves, as they sit around and preach and complain that real men are supposed to protect and provide while promoting a more parasitic than symbiotic relationship with these men, while they oppose the idea that they're supposed to bring femininity, respect, submission, and loyalty to the table and want to remain boss babes.
Now I'm starting to understand why everybody keeps calling Tomi Lahren a covert feminist. Because on one hand, she understands the problem, but on the other hand, she still wants to blame men for everything. How can you sit over here and blame men for the feminization of men when it's men that are fighting for masculinity and not women? It's women that are trying to make men be more like women instead of the other way around. You don't see men trying to make women be more like men, do you? No, you don't. We may ask women to be more logical in certain situations so that way they can get better outcomes and not get screwed over or end up in bad situations. But outside of that, yeah, we still want you to be a woman. We still want you to be feminine. If you a quote unquote boss babe, okay, you make your own money, cool. Turn that shit off when you get to the crib. That's all men are asking. Men aren't really asking for much. But to sit over here with the amount of female teachers that we have in schools now, the fact that we have so many men being raised by single mothers, and single mothers are teaching men what masculinity is through their eyes and only what's beneficial to the woman. And a lot of these women that are doing that aren't even telling those same men what to expect from women in return, is why you're at where you're at. You can't put this on men. The only men you're going to see trying to emasculate men are trans and gay men. What masculine man you know that's going to be trying to feminize a man? That's like the goofiest take I ever heard, man. Now I see why everybody be on Tomi Lahren ass. Because Andrew Wilson, Yeah, he tore her ass up because I remember they had that conversation because I covered it too. Because she was talking all that traditional shit about what men should expect. But when he said, okay, what should that type of man that you're describing should expect from a woman? And you want to know what her response was? He shouldn't expect anything. See, God, man. Like, even these so-called educated women on TV slow as fuck too.
I'm going to back up what he's saying with this. Just because men understand that their children shouldn't be leading, that their children shouldn't be doing something, that doesn't mean that they don't love them. That means they understand their shortcomings and try their best to not put them in positions to lose or to fail. And that's what a real man would do to a woman. He would do the same thing. So when people are hollering toxic masculinity, this is the most caring person you can find because he doesn't want to put you in positions for you to lose. He doesn't want you to be the fucking lead, the first person to run out in a battle in the military because he doesn't want you to lose. He doesn't want you to be a cop because he understands that you're probably gonna get your ass whooped by the 6'9" guy you're trying to arrest. He doesn't want you to have to walk down the alley by yourself. He doesn't want you to have to open his heavy ass door because he knows he weighs more and is stronger than you. But women have been taught by these fucking liberals that there's a thing called toxic masculinity. And without toxic masculinity, you know what would happen? You could walk down the street and literally somebody could hit you over the head, drag you to their cave and say you're mine. That would be today. You can't stop it. There's no fucking thing, there's no such thing as Wonder Woman. The only time you see women-led societies is in a comic book.
An elephant. An elephant.
Are you an animal?
How dare you?
Might as well be. So here's what I'm trying to tell you. They want you to believe that men who are trying to save you from you are bad. But men and women, when they have children, what is the biggest thing we do to show them we love them? Save them from themselves. Because if we didn't, they wouldn't eat vegetables and fruits. They eat pancakes in the morning, noon, and night. They eat gummy worms. We do this because we love them. So they're trying to convince you that the things that men normally do for women in a society and a civilization that makes it thrive. They're trying to tell you these are bad things. And when they tell you this, they want you to go out and do it yourself. So you have a lot of these women telling you, I'm the woman, I'm the bread.
Independent.
I'm independent.
Boss
I don't need nobody.
I'm a queen.
And they have convinced you of this. And do you understand that if you deal in the psychological industry, which I do, that women are the most miserable today than they've ever been in history?
He ain't lying.
Probably the first thing women need to forgive their husbands for is for being men. The problem is that women want strong men who are good providers and at the same time expect them to be like a girlfriend that they can always vent about a problem with. Men don't want to talk about problems. They want to solve them. Women want their man to be emotionally available. In other words, they want to turn him into a woman. It's as if some women want their man to have the characteristics of a woman without losing their masculinity. There will always be a power struggle between men and women. Only when women enjoy the strengths that they have that men don't, and enjoy the strengths that men have that they as women don't, will they be happier people and able to live in peace and harmony.
I don't think she could have worded that any better. But you know what? I'm not surprised because that's an older woman, so she gets it. I don't think women like her age group, I don't think they were affected or brainwashed from feminism like younger women like a Tommy Lauren was. Because if it's one thing that I've picked up on, I want to say women that are about, I would say majority of women that are about 50 and older, 50s and 60s, they're not affected from this shit as much as like women under that age are. Because there's even women my age, just in case y'all don't know, I just turned 40 a couple months ago. There's women my age that sound like Tommy Lauren or worse. So this is definitely a problem in the Western countries in general. From what I'm hearing, the UK, it's really bad. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because I actually met a brother that's from London who watches the channel. couple nights ago, because as you guys know, I'm in Bali now. So you're going to meet a lot of foreigners here, and I'm noticing a lot of foreigners from Europe come here. So there's definitely been a shift, and men don't want anything to do with it because it's not beneficial to them anymore. And women are still going to point the finger at men. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm at a point now where I'm like this. When it comes to women who speak like this, if y'all really think everything is a man's fault, then you know what? Men shouldn't even be trying to get in relationships anymore. That's how fed up I am. If y'all think y'all so fucking perfect and men are just so horrible, men shouldn't even be wasting our time with y'all. We should just have fun with y'all and keep it pushing. Have a good time with you, keep it pushing. Because y'all seem to have this attitude like y'all are the only ones that are capable of being in relationships. It's really getting tiring, man. I like, men are like fed up and tired. Men have had to hear y'all complain for decades now, and honestly, the fact that men are finally speaking up and it's got y'all even more triggered, I think that is making men even more turned off, because it's like, damn. So basically what y'all saying is what we've been doing for the last 6-7 decades of just taking y'all shit and complaints and bashing. Y'all expected us to just keep doing that and still give you what you want while we take less. This is the hypocrisy of feminism, man. Women champion everything that they despise of men doing when it comes to them doing it themselves. It's crazy, bro. And men are picking up on that. That's why they checking out. Y'all let me know what you thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button, because it helps with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.